Hey, what's up? Welcome back. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story here. This was about 9 years ago. I went to this seminar, and one of the speakers, he's this huge guy now on YouTube. Back then, he was just a speaker at this event I was at. And one thing he said, this always stuck out in my mind. He said, when you're on a sales call, you need to match the energy of the person that you're speaking with. Now, in sales, this is like a very common type of tip. If you're talking to a prospect, you need to match their level of energy. So if they're talking really, really fast, you need to try to meet them where they're at. If they're talking really, really slow, you need to meet them where they're at. Now, that is something like a lot of people know. And I'm here to tell you why that's a bad idea, right? And I'm going to give you a few examples. So let me give you example number one. Let's say you're talking to someone that is very hyper over the phone. You're talking with a parent, they're a prospect, they're not yet a client. They've never met you in real life. And they get on a call with you. And you're like, hey, Miss Jones, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And you're all over the place because they're all over the place. Now, let's say you sell a 12-month program. They commit to your program. They're so excited to see you on the first session. You get out there and you're not the same person that they talked to over the phone. And you're just more mellow, you're more relaxed. And they get out there and they're like, what the heck? I thought this coach had more energy. I thought this coach was more enthusiastic. I thought they could just go down the list in their head. And what they're doing is they're judging you because you're not the same person you were over the phone. And let's say they're with you for the next 12 months. They feel conned that they signed in your program because you acted completely different over the phone, right? Now, that is one example. And one of two things is going to happen. If you're in that situation, you're going to fake it when you meet them and you're going to try to match that same level of energy. And I can tell you, if you do that, you're not being true to yourself. You're just trying to make them happy, right? And some coaches will do that. I know it. Some coaches will do it. And if you're listening right now and you've done it, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Or you're going to be yourself and not be the same person you were over the phone, which I feel like that's probably the best option, but you're still deceiving the client because you were way different over the call as you are in real life. Now, that's the first example. The second example, this is my favorite. It's seeing people on social media who are just like so entertaining, they're funny, they love attention, and then when you hang out with them in real life, they're the complete opposite. They're like really boring, really introverted. And what they do though is they love the camera. They love the spotlight. They love the likes, the comments. And those types of people, I promise you, always fail in business, or they end up like really depressed because they're not getting enough likes, enough comments, whatever it is. And now let's think about this situation here. If you're really upbeat, really energetic, you have a lot of charisma on camera, and then your clients see you in real life and you're not that way, again, you're deceiving them. You're not being yourself. And I will tell you, right, I have zero shame saying this. We have a lot of coaches in our program right now, right? We have a lot of coaches that are subscribed on YouTube. We have a lot of coaches that listen to my podcast. I'm not the most entertaining person in the world, but I can tell you how I am on this podcast, how I am on my YouTube channel, how I am in my coaching program, how I am over the phone is the exact same way I would be if you were sitting across the desk from me in real life. And I know on my end, I'm not the most like entertaining person in the world. I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, but I'm going to be me. And that's what you have to double down on, is you have to be you. So here's my advice. Whatever you do on social media, like, you need to be yourself. However you are in your sales calls is how you need to be in real life. And I see too many people now, they watch guys and girls on YouTube and they try to get all this advice on sales and how you need to match the person's energy. I'll tell you right now, like, if I talked to you over the phone and I was super hyper the whole time and then you met me in real life and you realize I'm not that way, you'd be like, whoa, this is weird. I thought Ben had a ton of energy. No, like, I'm going to be the same me, right? I don't need to impress anybody, and neither do you, right? And here's the thing. When you are just being you, you attract the right type of client in your program that's not going to care about how much energy you bring to the sales call, because it's your business. You should dictate the flow of the sales call. You should dictate the pace, and you should be setting the tone. All right? Now, the last thing I will tell you, and if you have been studying sales and stuff like that, you probably have heard the word tonality, right? Now, if my tone on a call is like, hey, how are you doing? How's it going today? If I sound like extremely boring, right? I absolutely do need to change that. And guess what? I used to sound like that, and I've had to improve over time. Well, how did I improve? Well, I started doing a lot of videos, started doing a lot of calls, started talking to a lot of people. You have to force yourself to get better. So I'm not saying how you are, you should just be content with that. You should absolutely be looking to improve. But you need to be you on the call. And the only way to get better is by taking more calls, right? So I hope this helps. And I'm tired of seeing people who are like conning others on social media. I mean, it sucks. I talked with someone the other day, and again, I don't hold anything back on this podcast, but I talked with someone the other day. They're huge on social media, massive. Our phone call, it felt like I was talking to a completely different person than what I've seen on social media, right? Would I ever do business with that person? Absolutely not, right? Nope, right? And guess what? Parents, prospects who talk to you, they see every little thing you do on social media. Trust me. And they're smart. Like, they're not just buying training, right? If they're going to be investing in your program for long periods of time, they have to trust you as a person. And if you deceive people over the phone, guess what? You're going to get sniffed out. I've seen that happen to trainers in my area that are no longer trainers in my area because of how they acted and how they try to portray themselves when they're not really that way in real life. So that's it for today's podcast. If you want to ramp up your program, you want to ramp up your sales, reach out to me, 210-960-5771. That number only works if you text me in the US or Canada. If you don't live in those two countries, send me a message on Instagram at Nabers. Be patient. If I don't get back to you within that day, it's because I don't check Instagram every single day, right? I don't really use it. I just post my interviews on there, and I have set days and set times where I check messages. All right, so reach out to me there if you live internationally. That's it. See you later.